Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. It is 1 o'clock here anyway, Eastern time. But I wanted to definitely get this message to you today about your mission. So kind of a big topic, but I just had a bunch of new students start in the last couple weeks. And because that's one of the first things we tackle in the course, it's kind of fresh on my brain, and everyone, freaks out about it at first. And I just cannot believe we got it distilled down into like a really simple process. So I wanted to talk today about your mission. So what you actually, is it big enough, right? And the second thing is, could you be doing more with it? So I'm going to talk today about, we all know that we could be doing something better. And we could do, sure, I could be doing better. I could do, I could expand this, or I could be, going into this line of things, or I could be doing more for my community or my industry, and we could be doing better, right? But what is really stopping us from doing something great? And what's the difference? So just thought I would wax on about that for a couple of minutes, and because it's fresh in my mind. Also, what might be stopping us from doing something great, and 3 reasons why you might not be fulfilling your mission right now. So the first thing I want to talk about is doing something that's good versus great. Good versus great. So when it comes to this thing we're talking about, which is in this group, which is stepping into your expert authority, not just being the person, the guy or girl that knows everything about X, right? It's not always just about that kind of expert. What we're talking about is a level of thought leadership. And I think that when you're talking about a level of thought leadership, it actually is going to require you to have a bigger commitment to an overall goal. And that's what we're talking about here. So you could be in an industry that's very philanthropic. You could have a very philanthropic position in your company, or the way you do sales and that kind of thing. How you disperse your wealth, whatever it is, or your, or your savings. But I think that when it comes to stepping into thought leadership and putting yourself and your opinions and your words on the line to stand for something, it's going to require you to step into a bigger personal mission about what that means. Now, your personal mission doesn't have to be all about you. It can be tied to other things. But that's what we're talking about. When you're a thought leader, when you put your feet down on the floor first thing in the morning, it's got to get you out of bed in the morning. That's what I always talk about. So that's number one. It could be something a little bit outside of what you do day to day. So not, instead of checking a box, it actually becomes a thing that drives you. So we'll talk about for a second this concept of what, good versus great. And good versus great, when you're speaking in terms of what you're doing now or the message that you're putting out there. Again, when you're doing good and good things, you're checking a few boxes. I think that you're getting a lot of head nods, and I think that you may be feeling like you're in line, or that, oh, I have, I'm doing okay. I'm getting some feedback and whatnot. I think when you're doing great, you'll know. I don't know how else to describe it. When you start to do great, and when you start to put great things out into the world through your words and your new messages, through the actions you take, through the connections and partnerships that you're choosing and you're actually going out and building, different things just are happening. The feedback, the level of feedback is different. The invitations are different. They're a level up. When you do great things, when you put your greatness behind your thoughts and opinions, and lead in that way, not only through your writing, but through your entire business, yes, you will definitely feel the difference between, producing something that's good and producing something that's great. So not only greater feedback, but a more grateful audience as well. So, and then that just, the vibes you're getting from the audience members and those people are different. The types and qualities of engagements, your level of pay, that's when you're doing great things. So we want to always aim for great, not just good. Good is great, but great is better. So yeah, number two, I wanted to talk to you about is, if you're not sure that you're tapping into this greatness or this mission, I just have this under, remember that thing, like, remember that thing you always said you wanted to do. You remember that maybe book or speaker that you read that really resonated something, and you knew you had to make a change. You're like, I'm going to put a pin in this. Boop, I'm going to put it right there because I am coming back to that, or that really resonated, or that's something I should think about. That thing, it might have even been the thing, guys, that got you to go to school for this thing. You might have laid down a lot of money or time and invested in a course or an additional learning opportunity to get you one step closer to that thing. And that's the thing I want you to remember. If you had one of those things and you've either walked away with it, or if it's kind of buried somewhere and you just have all this other stuff and experience, that could be your key to greatness that you just haven't unlocked yet, right? It's like finding a class ring in your attic, or you were the athlete of the year, and you found this ring that you won, and at the time it was everything. You're looking at it now and it's still really beautiful. It brings back all those memories, but you have no idea what to do with it. Do I wear it? Do I go around telling everyone I was athlete of the year in high school? Like, what do I do with this now? That's what your stuff feels like a lot of the time to people, to the people we help. And that's the stuff we sort out, get to the bottom of in a very short amount of time. And the third thing I want to bring up is, how will I know, right? How do I know I'm not already there? I alluded to this earlier, but how you'll know, it's as I said earlier, you'll know if you are stepping into your greatness. To be honest, the people that have gone on, the clients that have gone on to actually live this out, to actually put into action what we've built together, they don't have time to, it's not the time. They just, it happens so naturally. They don't even have time to look back and go, how does this feel? They're just in it, right? They're just moving those chains, right? Bit by bit, but they're acting and being that thing. So it's almost hard to think of what you were doing earlier. It's now so much a part of you. So how will you know you're in your greatness? It's more ethereal things, like your gratitude will change. The things around you start to change. The people around you start to change. What you start to read and absorb begins to change. And how you regurgitate or analyze and share information, that also begins to change. It's so gradual that sometimes the people who get it and are doing it almost don't even realize, right? They're in their greatness. But when you stop and think about it, it's all those gasps along the way, those aha moments that have led you to what you're supposed to be doing. So that is how you'll know, right? That's how our clients know this is it. And it's a hunger. That's the other thing. Now there's a hunger that there might not have been there before. There's a to-do list that might not have been there before, but a to-do list that doesn't feel like it's bogging you down. The to-do list feels like it's something you want to plant your feet in the ground and go do every day and go build it and build on it and stack it. So that's a little bit about mission. And your mission, yeah, it should push you. And if you've always wondered, I love the industry I'm in, but I'm just not certain of my role in it, or am I contributing in the right way? I want to be over here, but all my experience is here. Does it even match up? Can I step out of this box completely and start to own this new thing because of A, B, C, and D? Guys, if you have those reasons, A, B, C, and D, you're already halfway there. All we have to do is get on a call and sort out how close you are to it. So the next thing I'm inviting you is anyone still watching this who has been on a breakthrough session with me, has been on a call where we actually got down to the nitty gritty. I know that a lot of you are out there. And I know it's hard to share, but the reactions and the vibe that was happening on that call, just share below. Like, in the very short amount of time where we were able to take your vision, your mission, your bigger self. So tons of that of value that we could go through together. So I'm always here for you. And I do believe that link to call is up there in this post that will accompany this, maybe now or maybe on the replay. And as always, this is here for you to digest. I hope that has maybe shifted something inside of you. And that's what we're here for, is to bring those dreams and that kind of mission or that heaven to reality for you. So I look forward to doing that. And if you have any questions, just you can DM me as well. Okay? Talk to you guys real soon and have a great rest of your day. Ciao.